Hi, and welcome to the Day Trading for Beginners podcast. This is season 3, episode 9. And in this episode, I want to talk about the portfolio gains that I've had after trading real money for 4 months. And I want to talk more specifically about the strategy. So my name is Tyler Stokes from StokesTrades.com. I've been on a journey to become a full-time trader since January 2024. And I started trading real money in April this year. And after 4 months, the portfolio that I'm trading with is up 65%. So below this video, you can find a link to a webpage that breaks down all the trades that I've done and shows all the positions that I have, as well as a link to our school group. So in our school group, which is free, I have a classroom section called the Trading Challenge. And in that section, I basically have listed all my trades with some information on why I entered, why I exited, and so on. You can find all of that for free. So in the month of July, we are up 65%. And again, you can find a breakdown of all my trades and see the actual tickers that are doing the best and so on. And I created video recaps of every month that sort of go in and actually look at the chart. So what I thought I would do today in this podcast, and I haven't done one for a while since I have been, trading real money and been busy with that. I thought I would just sort of go over how the strategy works that I am using. So in our school group, I am working on a course that's going to give all the details and actually teach what I am learning. So again, if you're not a school member, I would highly recommend that you go and join. If you join this year, you will get access to that course for free. So I would highly recommend that you do so. It's probably going to be out in the next few months. But what I thought I would do, our portfolio is up 65%. Our win rate is like 90%. And I have over 20 stocks in this portfolio. So it's not like I've just got all the gains from one stock. I wanted to today to just spend some time going over, how this strategy works and just kind of discuss it so you can maybe listen, maybe understand, and maybe something will sink in that you might be interested in this approach. So discussing it like this, might allow you to think that it's something that you want to do. Obviously, there are many strategies out there. There are many time frames for trading and so on. And you're going to really need to find one that suits you and your schedule. For me personally, with my busy schedule, I can't watch the markets all day long. Like I've mentioned in prior podcasts, this momentum trading style really works for me. So I want to just break it down in a really easy to understand format of how the strategy works. So it's very simple, but it's powerful. It's about identifying certain stocks that are already moving upward and then joining the ride at smart entry points rather than trying to predict the future or time every little move. So this is sort of a step-by-step breakdown of how it works. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to spot the opportunity. So we want to look for stocks that are in a strong uptrend on the daily or the weekly charts, meaning that the price is making higher highs and higher lows. So we want bullish market structure showing clear buyer momentum. And in order to find these stocks, you can actually have a watch list like I do that has, over 50 or close to 100 stocks that I've charted and I just monitor them. Or you can use things like a screener in TradingView to kind of screen for stocks and add them to your watch list. Or you can go to Grok and just say, hey, Grok, give me a list of the 150 stocks that you think are going to perform well this year that are tied to crypto, AI growth, tech, and so on. So you can actually get Grok to just give you a list of what it feels are going to be high performing stocks. Then you can add it to your watch list and you can just monitor them and monitor the zones when the bullish markets, when there's bullish market structure and when there's a strong uptrend. So in terms of making a buy, we want to enter at support zone. So these are proven price levels where the stock has bounced before. It's like a floor supported by buyers. And in order to find these, every stock has these, we use tools in TradingView. So we use tools like the Ichimoku Cloud, we use moving averages, the Fibonacci retracements, so fib levels, and we use Gann Squares for symmetry. And basically what we want to do is we want to try and find confluence. We want to try and find where multiple indicators align at a support zone. That's a high probability buy signal. And then we start with small positions. So you make a 1 to 3% entry based on your portfolio size, and you keep the risk low. So we only buy at support. We never buy at resistance where there's sellers or where there's selling pressure. We never buy at resistance, only buy at support. It's really, really simple, but it's very, very effective. And then we basically ride and accumulate. So as the stock climbs, we don't want to sell too soon. We'd rather hold and add more shares at new support zones during any minor pullback. So, stocks always rise up and then pull back. So at the time of recording this, coin has had a huge run up. It's one of my best performing stocks, close to 100% gain that I've made on that. But we just had a big pullback, which is normal. Things don't always melt up. They always go up in a zigzag. So these pullbacks are actually opportunities. When stocks pull back into a support zone, the market structure is bullish. That's another indication that, hey, you might want to accumulate more of this stock. Now, you can trade in and out if that's something you're interested in, or you can just buy and sort of ride the momentum. Now, we use basically cash or, rebalancing from other holdings to add more to the position, but we never want to invest more than an initial 10% of your total portfolio. So we don't want to get overexposed to just one stock. So, this dollar cost averaging up, it lets you build positions gradually, capturing bigger gains as the momentum builds, so over many weeks or months. And again, like I mentioned, if you prefer more activity, you could trade shorter swings between the support and resistance zones on some lower time frames. But really the core is just riding the volatility in bullish charts without constant stress. So if you're like me, who has limited amount of time, I've got family commitments, I work, very busy, I really get stressed if I need to trade in and out on shorter time frames. I'd rather buy and ride the volatility up. But then, there will be a time when you want to sell and you want to exit, and you're going to do that wisely. When the momentum fades, so if there's signs like broken support or some things are kind of flattening out, or if there's what's called a change of character in the market structure, generally, if there's some lower highs, then we want to be cautious and we might want to scale out by taking partial profits, or you might want to exit fully. So we never chase highs. We never hold forever. A strategic sell locks in the wins and it frees up capital for some new opportunities. So it's certainly not just a buy and hold. We want to add, we want to accumulate on bullish stocks that continue to rise and there's safe support zones to buy. And then when the momentum fades, we want to rotate into other stocks. So why does this work so well for me at the moment and other beginners potentially like you? Well, it avoids the emotional traps of day trading, like the fear of missing out or over trading. And what we do with this strategy is we just focus on patience and probabilities. Retail traders, we often buy high and sell low. But this strategy, it flips the script. So my results show that this has potential. Always remember, trading has risks and results are not guaranteed. And certainly this is not financial advice. But what I've noticed based on my personal experience and many other people that are trading this way as well, is that it's a good formula for building wealth in the stock market. It's low stress and the strategy is simple. Now, simple is not always easy. When you trade real money, there's a lot of emotions that go into it. I've made mistakes and I've shared those in our school group as well, such as, selling too early or rotating into stocks because things aren't moving quick enough and so on. So patience is really important with this strategy. But, so far it's doing well. And again, below this, in the show notes of this podcast, you can find a link to where I have documented all my trades. And I've got video updates on the past 4 months of trading. And again, the portfolio is up 65%. We've got like 21 stocks in that fund. And in our school group, I actually have a screenshot and a little blurb about all the buys and the entries and so on. So I hope that you found this useful. Again, if you're interested in learning more about the strategy, certainly come to our school group. Eventually, later in 2025, there's going to be a full course available that runs through setting up everything that you need runs through the tools, runs through the technical analysis, runs through executing the strategy, and talks a lot about the mental side of trading specifically with this strategy, because that's a really big part. I hope that you found this useful. Again, the fund is up. We will see how August turns out. Generally, August is sort of known for seasonality. So on Friday, August 1st, as of July 31st, my portfolio was up 65%. But August 1st, there was a pullback in the market. It's normal for things to run up and have a pullback, but we will see how the rest of this month plays out. Based on a lot of research I've done, I think it's common knowledge that August has historically been a weaker month for stocks due to seasonal patterns like lower trading activity. A lot of people are on summer vacations. So there is the potential for some price dips. However, in today's market, some of the research that I've done with people that have given some really good analysis is that there are some positive trends in small cap stocks, tech, cryptocurrency, and the global sort of money flow that might suggest that 2025, this August, it might buck this trend of not performing well in August and actually perform well. So although I'm cautious, I do sort of feel a bit more optimistic about August than maybe you will see on X when everyone's calling for, a really, really big pullback. So will be interesting to see, and will be interesting to check out at the end of August, early September. I'm going to do another portfolio update and we'll see where we stand. We're up 65% now. We'll see what August has in store for us. And I will produce another podcast and video doing a recap later in the month. So I hope that you found this useful, and certainly check out all the links below in the show notes. And I look forward to giving you an update in another month or so.